For. All right, it's Thursday night, bass fishing live. I'm in Nashville at the NWTF conference. We've been walking around listening to turkey calls and goose calls all day, and I'm ready to talk some fishing. Josh is here. He was at the conference with me. Josh, are your feet hurting?
Dude, I'm hurting all over right now.
We walked so much.
I'm hurting all over.
So much. With us today, all the way from Texas, so we got a lot of geography covered today, is some big bass slayers who've been in the news recently, actually. Dalton Smith, Dalton's on the left, and Jason Conn. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having us on, man. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, so if you are watching and you are one of our guys that tune in every week, you know, we have our loyal listeners. If you're just joining us for the first time to talk bass fishing, maybe you saw that Jason and Dalton are going to be on here. Don't worry, Jason, I do that every single week, so don't worry about that. When I'm on my laptop, I get on my phone and it always blasts through. So just let us know where you're watching from. Share this on your page. Share this with your friends. Let me tell you why we have Dalton and Jason on. Dalton is a Kentuckian like Josh and I, but he's moved out to Texas. And Dalton, a couple weeks ago maybe?
What do you mean, like the first lunkers?
Well, didn't you?
2 months ago.
Okay, you moved 2 months ago, and
2 months
since
ago,
then,
I've been down here for about 2 months.
Yeah, so Dalton,
yes,
and I've seen Dalton through social.
Uh-oh. Is he froze up for you guys too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think John. There he is. He's back. He's back.
Yeah. So I don't know this Wi-Fi. I'm in an Airbnb, guys. It said that it had strong Wi-Fi, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave a bad review. But anyway, I don't know what was said, but Dalton caught two 13-pound fish, two huge bass, and I thought that was impressive. You caught 3? Did you hold up 3?
I've caught 3 over 14.
3? Oh, so I had bad information. So Dalton's caught 3 bass over 14 pounds, and I guess Jason was jealous, so he reeled in a 17-pounder, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but that's the 8th biggest bass ever caught in Texas. Is that true?
That's true. Yes,
so these guys, you know, when we saw that, I told Josh a few weeks ago we need to have Dalton Smith on. I reached out to Dalton. He's like, "Hey, I'm here with Jason Conn. He just caught a 17-pounder." I said, "Hey, that's even better." So guys, tell us a little bit. You know, Dalton, you moved out there, started your guiding business. Jason, sounds like you've been guiding for a while. So just kind of tell us what in the world is going on at OH Ivie out there in Texas.
Yeah, so I've moved down here, like you said, about 2 months ago, and I've been guiding in Kentucky on Dale Hall Lake and Green River Lake for about 2 years now, as I was a coach at Campbellsville University for their kayak bass fishing team. And after I caught those 2 14-pounders right there before the New Year's, I had some things kind of line up, and it made sense for me to move my business down here to Texas and chase some trophy bass around.
Did you say kayak bass fishing team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We started a kayak bass fishing team a little over a year ago at Campbellsville, and I used to coach it prior to me moving down here.
Dude, that's awesome. And did you catch any of those 14-pounders out of a kayak?
No,
Dude,
sir.
You're talking about.
I haven't done much. I haven't done much kayak fishing myself, but they are ate up with it, and they got a good thing going on there. So.
Oh yeah. And so I assume you're saying you coached Campbellsville. You coached the bass team. Is that correct?
Yeah. I fished for Campbellsville University for 4 years. So.
I'm sorry, you broke up just a little bit. You said you fished there, then coached for how long? Guys, if you're just joining us, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Looks like Dalton and Jason's Wi-Fi might be going out. John's Wi-Fi is going out, but stay tuned. Hopefully they're going to be back on here shortly. Tonight, I don't know if you're just tuning in, Dalton and Jason been catching monster fish down at OH Ivie in Texas. I think Dalton, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you there? Yeah, there they are. There they are.
We're back. We're trying to move the router closer. We're out here in the middle of the desert.
You're good, man. You're good.
It should be.
So,
Yeah.
And honestly, John's threw me off a little bit because he's at John's at an Airbnb. He's down at NWTF, and the Wi-Fi is just I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not 100% sure, but we're just going to keep the show rolling. Hopefully he'll join back up with us, man. But again, thanks for coming on with us. We really appreciate it. And before we get rolling into it, Jason, kind of introduce yourself, then Dalton, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
So I've been guiding for about 10 years. I primarily guide on Lake Fork, which is in East Texas. Grew up out here. Actually, I was born in San Angelo, which is about 45 minutes away from here. But I ain't fished here in years. But these guys got all this stuff started last year, so I figured I'd come out here and put in my 2 cents. And so far, I've gotten lucky. Caught 2 over 14 pounds, one being 17. So,
dude, it's insane. It's insane. And hey, Dalton, for you, man, if you just moved down there 2 months ago, it's already paid off, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
it really has. It's already paid off. If you told me I'm going to catch 4 14-pounders within the next 2 weeks, and I need to move to Texas, I'd quit my job today.
I hear you, man. Yeah, the move's been great. People are awesome down here. Made a lot of good friends already too. So it's been fun.
And Jason, you said you grew up fishing Lake Fork. What's the biggest fish you've caught on Lake Fork? Because I see on the tournaments they go down there and they catch monsters, dude.
Yeah. Personally, my biggest is 12 something, a low 12. But I've had a client catch a 12.98 out there.
That's big, dude. That is big. Sweet. We got some people coming in. We got Cesar Sotelo watching because of Jason Conn. Do you know who that is?
I do. Hi, Cesar.
Wes, what's going on, boys? What's up, man? We got W.O. W.O. is a faithful follower for us, man. He's on here every Tuesday, every Thursday, and he has caught. If John was on here, I'd get him to show you all the pictures, but he has caught some big bass as well. Then let's see here. I've got so many comments, man. It's hard to keep up with it sometimes. It really is.
It probably kicks it both out.
I don't know.
What is the purpose of the show? Are we talking about big fish?
Hey, can you guys hear me or see me? Man, this is brutal. This is awful. We've literally had shows.
Okay.
We've had a show on Tuesday night for over 2 years, and we've never had this much trouble.
You see it?
Yeah.
Dalton, Jason, can you guys hear me? Josh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It kicked me too, man.
Okay. So anyway, we have had, I don't know, Dalton and Jason's struggling, I think. I'm struggling. Josh has looked like he's back. I don't know. We've done over probably 100 live shows. We've never had this much trouble.
Muted our mic.
But if we can't make it work tonight, we'll hook back up with these guys later on. But yeah, we let me get where that last line in me. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. It just randomly kicked me.
Dalton and Jason are muted.
We're back.
There we go.
We all got kicked out. I'm going to blame it. You know what? When I drove to Nashville for Kentucky Day, it was through friggin' tornadoes this morning. The weather was awful. And so I'm just going to blame it on the storms.
Well, hey, listen, I want to say real quick, we got 81 people watching. One, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate everyone tuning in. I know this is a complete John just said it's like it's a tornado right now, but we are here to talk big bass. Big bass, good fishing down in Texas.
So we can't control the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me okay?
You're good, man.
All right, let's just roll with it. And then here's what we'll do. So we got 75 people watching. Dalton and Jason are working on their Wi-Fi. Hopefully I fixed mine. Josh has fixed
Hey guys,
his.
we're having some trouble. I think we're gonna have to go to somewhere.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. If you can hear me, me and John's Wi-Fi is pretty good right now. If you all need to try somewhere else,
That's what he said.
If you go somewhere else and join back up, we're gonna be here for the next 45 minutes.
This is live. This is why we do it live, though, right? We do it live because it's real. It's not a production. It's not edited. We want real answers. We want real people. So if you're watching, thank you for being here. Like Josh said, sorry that it is absolutely a train wreck. Michael Boyd said the year for everything getting derailed. Totally agree. I did not anticipate this mess. However, these guys we have on, Dalton's caught 3 14-pounders since he moved to Texas 2 months ago. Jason has caught a 17-pounder recently, the 8th largest bass in Texas history. These guys are friends with Josh Jones, who is a guide in Texas who catches an incredible number of double-digit bass.
Oh, yeah.
And the lake they're catching these bass on are OH Ivie. It has become a hotbed for bass fishermen to go down there, catch their personal record. So if you're watching, if you have questions for these guys, here's what they'll do. They will come back in the comments after the video, and they will try to answer some of your questions.
Oh, yeah.
Artie Hayden says, Dalton, I want to book a trip with you. That's one reason we have these guys on here. Dalton was a college fisherman at Campbellsville, and I knew about him then because he was very good. He donated a couple of guided trips. Ruben says the service at Ivie is terrible. Ruben, I believe you. The service in Nashville right now is terrible. I can't even use my phone. But Dalton moved out there. I didn't even know he moved out there permanently. I thought he just went out there on a trip and caught these fish. So, if you're wanting to get out there, it's like, here's what I remember. A few years ago, when Chickamauga in Tennessee was the best bass lake in the country, people were going down there from all over trying to catch a 10-plus pounder and coming back empty-handed because it's not easy.
Yeah.
So people are doing that now with Ivie. They're just leaving and going to Texas, fishing OH Ivie, thinking they're going to catch a 15-pounder, but these guys have put in the work. So if you're wanting that, these are the guys you need to reach out to.
We got a ton of people watching right now. What I want to know is everybody watching right now, obviously you are here to talk about big bass with these dudes down at OH Ivie. I want to know, put in the comments, what is the biggest bass that you've caught up to today, and what bait was you using when you caught it? If you want to share what bait you used. I know some people are a little iffy. For me, I caught mine last February on a local lake in Western Kentucky. It was 8 pounds, 1 ounce on a red crankbait by 6 cents.
An 8-pound bass in Kentucky is truly a trophy.
Yes, it was.
Truly a trophy.
Let's hear it.
Artie says, first of all, Wes here says he's booked a trip with Josh Jones on June 3rd. He's looking for a 12.8 or better for his new PB. And then Artie here said Dalton is his grandson. So no wonder Artie wants a guided trip. He gets a family discount, I guess.
Heck yeah.
Ruben's
What's up, Grandpa?
yeah, there you go. Ruben's personal best is 7.2 at Ivie on a jerkbait. Ruben, 7.2 is a great fish. Can you imagine Jason's fish was 10 pounds heavier than that? That's wild.
I honestly, I can't. The reason I asked you if you caught it on a kayak Because, dude, I've caught there's a little bitty lake out here in Western Kentucky. It's like 75 acres. And I go there all the time because there's huge bass. And
nobody fishing.
I've caught probably 10 fish that weigh between 5 and 7 pounds. And they take me for a ride on that kayak. So I can only imagine what a 14-pounder would do.
I don't think we're getting kayaks on those big Texas lakes. I don't know.
No, probably not.
All right, people. So, all right, you guys, it looks much better now. But people in the comments have been saying the service at Ivie is horrible.
It's bad, yeah.
Yeah. So,
we're on Wi-Fi, but I don't think it's much better than service.
Probably not. Dakota says you can't beat a 10-inch worm on Lake Fork. No, we had, so Josh and I are from a little town, Harlan County in Kentucky. There's a guy from Harlan that guides on Fork, but I can't think of his name. Do you know his name, Josh?
No,
he's from what we call across the mountain.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't think of his name. So
we got a bunch of comments rolling in. We just asked them, everyone that's watching, biggest fish they've caught on what. Chris said a 12.5 OH Ivie on a Senko, 7.2 with Ruben at Ivie on a jerkbait. I hope I say this right. Mahar Mark, 9.8 on Fork with a 10-inch worm.
You said it better than I thought you would.
Well, thank you. That's actually a compliment coming from you. Dakota Trimble.
What's up, Mark?
9.12. West Chappelle, 12.75. Dude, that's insane. That's just insane.
All right, well, let's get into Dalton and Jason here. We've already, I feel like, wasted a lot of time. I apologize for this. It's never been this bad, so I don't know. But so, Dalton, you caught 3 14-pounders. Are you guys, this time of the year obviously is the time to catch them. When you guys go out there, whether it's just you guys or you have a client out there, what is the lineup on your front deck?
You want to go, Jason? Yeah, right now. Yeah, we're going fishing tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we both got trips tomorrow, so
there you go.
I gotta get that away. Alabama rig, man. That's the only thing I have tied on. But I'll be throwing maybe a jerkbait, but mostly Alabama rig.
Okay, Alabama rigs. What do you have Kitex on those? What do you like to use?
Just little white swim baits.
All right, yeah, you don't have to give your secrets away here. It can be in general. Don, are you going with the Alabama rig as well?
Right now with the cold weather we're having, the winds blowing and stuff, the Alabama rig is really easy to throw. I caught a 9-pounder even today on an Alabama rig, so yeah, I'll probably keep it on my front deck.
What's your all setup with an Alabama rig? Because I've seen dudes throw it, and it honestly looks exhausting. Well, you need a pretty heavy setup for that, right?
Yeah, I'm using the 8-foot heavy action swim bait rod. It's actually Odie hammer rod designed by Kyle Hall. It's called Full Send. I've boat flipped 10-pounders with it. I'm using 25-pound fluorocarbon and a Shane's bait Alabama rig is what I got on mine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm throwing a 7'9". It is a Dwayne Dixie Custom heavy carbon elite. It's his new, basically souped up glide bait rod. It's got a real long butt on it, and she gives you a lot of leverage. And I throw a 20-pound line, Seaguar Red Label, and I keep it simple with the reel. I just throw a loose speed spool.
Yeah, OH Ivie, man, you see it all the time. People are catching double-digit bass. In most lakes, like I told you, the small one I go to, you don't catch a bunch. You catch 1 or 2 big ones, and that's it. So OH Ivie is at a place do you catch a lot of fish and big ones? Do you catch just big ones? What would you say about the lake?
Right now, it's pretty feast or famine. We're in kind of a weird winter transition, and then we have these little warm fronts, and some fish want to start to pull up, but they don't stay up there long. So it's feast or famine. There's giants being caught every day, a DD every day. I feel like you hear around here, and then obviously Share Lunker's 17-pounder was caught last week. If you didn't hear, but we probably caught 30 fish this evening, and we only were out we got out around lunch and fished till dark, caught about 30 fish, but just a lot of small ones. I had one big one. But yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're fishing too. So
Yeah.
what kind of bait
Yeah,
you're fishing.
if I went fishing tomorrow and I caught 30 fish from noon to dark, dude, that is like a plus day for me, 100%.
Are you?
Yeah, it's just when you're on Ivie and you're catching 2-pounders. It's
right.
Yeah, that's we when you guys were figuring out your Wi-Fi there, and it looks much better, by the way, and sounds better. What I was telling people watching is, a few years back when like Lake Chickamauga was like the hot lake, everybody was going down to Chattanooga, but they would they were wanting a double-digit bass, but they were coming back empty-handed because it's not easy. And I feel like, everyone's wanting to go to Ivie now, and they're wanting to come back with a 13, 14, 17-pounder. But I know it's not just as simple as throwing out your Alabama rig and hauling one in. So you guys are putting in the hours, putting in the work, which is, and there's guys in the comments saying, hey, I booked a trip. I'm coming out. Kind of talk about that, how everybody probably sees that and thinks they can come out there and catch them, but it's not as simple as just a cast and reel.
Yeah, I've actually had this conversation with quite a few of my customers that just want to come out here and fish. Like I'm booked up, for a while, so I don't have any availability. And I've actually gave him a couple trips and some other guys, but it's coming out here to just fish by yourself. It's hard. I mean, you gotta know your sonar. You got to be able to know that. I mean, that's a big deal out here. I mean, you can't just show up out here on this lake and just go fishing. It's not, especially to catch the big ones that we're catching. I mean,
it's gonna break your heart.
Out there, and they're hard to find. Once you find them, I mean, yeah, you can definitely. It's a what's it called, hero or zero?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that
absolutely.
A lot of the time. I mean, you'll see a lot of fish. If you know how to use your live, you'll see a bunch of fish. I mean, there's days where I've probably seen 25 over 13 pounds. That not very many days, but a lot of days I'm 10 to 15, 13 plus pounders. Nearly every day.
That's about an average day.
And I can take you. I took him and showed him one fish I have on a tree, and she's over 15 pounds, and he's the witness of that. We both seen her. And
what's crazy is even though you see those fish, so go ahead. Even though you see those fish, that also doesn't mean you're going to catch them. And that's kind of the deception with the forward-facing sonar is just because you see them don't mean you're going to get them.
Yeah, you also mentioned knowing your sonar, and I know you all talked about like fishing in college and everything. So, and Dalton, you're from Kentucky, correct?
Yes,
yes, sir. I am.
Okay. Sorry, man. I've got mixed up because of all the Wi-Fi and stuff I've heard about what it said and everything. So my question is, we've had already like two guys that we've talked to, from like one from the BFL series, one from the Elite series, all that stuff, and we've asked them all like, how big does live scope play? So with your sonar, how big of a deal does live scope play with you guys down there on OH Ivie and what you're doing?
Especially before and that, that and now.
I mean, so here's the thing is, I fish without forward-facing sonar. I've been fishing tournaments since I was 13. I'm 24 now.
Yeah.
I'm still a young kid around here. But so I'll just say this, man. I was in 2 years. I fished in college for 2 years without forward-facing sonar, and then my junior year of college is when you either had to learn it or you were getting beat. And I'm not traveling across the country to get beat, so I put my time in with it, and I've been scoping fish or whatever you want to call it for about 3 years now. And here's the thing is, I know Jason can attest to this, is learning what a bass does is probably the most important thing. I mean, that's what makes you a good tournament angler. That's what makes you a good guy, when you can make, decisions off the fly. And, but now we're able to put a bait in front of their face and watch them react to different baits. We can change up whenever we know they're not hitting nothing. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal out here. Here in a couple of weeks when these fish start.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, he froze. Jason Fox says, I'm sorry. Wes says that's the misconception with all the naysayers claiming that forward-facing sonar is cheating.
Go back on.
There you
There
go.
they are. There they are. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wes says that.
But no, I was just saying that. I was just saying that here in a little bit, when these fish start to pull up real hard and pre-spawn, and they kind of do their thing up there, you can start catching them, just covering water and stuff like that, and not really looking at your screen and stuff. So, but right now in the wintertime, it's a big deal.
I got you.
Jason, how long have you been guiding on Ivie and Lake Fork? Are those the two primary lakes that you're guiding on?
I got a few different lakes. Lake Fork, I've been primarily guiding there for 10 years. I started as a guide 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I got on Ray Roberts, Texoma some. I started out here last January. Guiding I come out here December, January, February when it's a little bit slower at the other lakes that I guide at. And I just feel like I could be more successful out here, which about 17 pounder. So been successful so far, but yeah.
I'm not sure what this means, but Michael Frost.
Don't. Just skip that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't see comment.
You of course, Josh, you're the one who is going to fall for that.
Okay,
just
go
bring
ahead.
it slow to yourself, and you'll get it.
Go for it.
I'll explain it later.
Do you know him? Do you know Michael Frost, Jason?
I don't know. What? Let me go.
Okay. Anyway, Josh, just ignore it.
No, I don't know what.
Okay.
So he's Michael. It's all good, Michael. I just didn't want Josh to. You about got him. Kudos to you, Michael. Kudos to you. So, and yes, Josh is. Yes, Josh is.
I'm very okay. Whatever. Just keep.
I'll explain when we're off here, bro. It's fine. So listen,
confused.
going back.
I don't even know. Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Josh and Dalton are young. They don't. Those are like old school jokes there.
Capital J.
Hey, so WO says, when you're catching these big bass, what's the are you finding them very deep right now? Are you pulling them up from a pretty deep in the water, or what's their? But you talked about Dalton. You talked about forward facing sonar. Really lets you into like the fish's behavior is like the biggest advantage of it. You're learning more about them. So what's their behavior like this time of year out there? Those big bass.
The two 14-pounders I caught in the same day, 2 days before the new year, they were in about 30 foot of water, and they were just kind of cruising around by themselves, just out there in the main river channel. And right now, I caught my last 1476, my share lunker that I got to submit. She was in about 14 foot of water, and I don't know. Jason's, I'm pretty sure, was about 12 foot. So
yeah. So yeah, is Ivie a deep lake anyway?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Really deep water.
It's a rocky river lake.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's built off damming up two rivers, Colorado and the Concho. So
okay.
It's pretty deep. There's some 100-foot water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly in the river channels though.
Gotcha. Let's
So
see.
when will they? When do they start spawning on OH Ivie?
They'll start. I mean, obviously it depends on the weather always anywhere.
Right.
But like even at Fork, sometimes we caught them on beds in February, but it'll most likely it'll probably be after the next full moon. But it's going to have to do a lot of warming first. I mean, the water's got to get at least in the 60s, and it's what 49 or 40.
50. It's 50 today.
50. So we got about 12-degree water. It's going to come up a bunch before it's.
So you get some rain.
I'd say that good couple of weeks is like the last week of March.
Middle of March, probably.
Yeah.
You could probably start seeing some, in the back.
Yeah.
Some of these creeks. I mean, up the river they might spawn a little earlier. I don't know.
Yeah.
Down this part of the lake where we're at, where we fish most of the time, it's probably maybe even to April.
Jason here. I guess Jason is going with one of you guys tomorrow. Says, looking forward to tomorrow. I want to learn more about how to find them. If we catch one, great. If not, to me, it's about the experience. And I guess that's probably how you want all your clients to look at it, because I mean, you guys are going to put them on the fish if you can find them. But you don't just focus on catching them, but learning more about bass fishing for next time, you know?
Yeah, well, the main thing that people got to understand when they're coming out here to do this is, I mean, we're using live sonar. So a lot of people that fish with us, you know, a lot of times of the year, I personally am not using live sonar.
Yeah.
You know, when they get up shallow, we're not using it. So most of the people that fish with me are not used to doing it. So coming out here now, I mean, it's a learning experience. So we spend half the day trying to teach people. So like, for instance, me catching that 17-pounder, people were giving me crap because I caught it, but I was actually teaching. You know, I was teaching the guy, you know, where to throw, how to reel it, where to reel it over the head. I mean, it's a learning process, and it takes some time to learn. And you know, like Jason, I got tomorrow. I mean, he understands that, and that's what we're having a good fun day, and hopefully we catch a lunker tomorrow.
If I'm in the boat, absolutely. If I'm in the boat with a person, even if I just met them that morning and they catch a 17-pounder, dude, I'm going to be just as happy for that guy as I would be if I caught it. I mean, that's a fish of a lifetime anywhere you go. Yeah. And just to see that and experience, I mean, that's fantastic. Robert has a good question. You talked about, you know, seeing a fish. You showed Dalton a fish today over 15 pounds. Have you seen a fish that you think may be bigger than the one you caught?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to put a number on some of the fish I've seen out here. I actually had one today that kind of gives you goosebumps. So
yeah. Do you get fixated on that?
Actually, that probably are bigger than that.
Oh yeah, my eye is looking for that 24/7 when I'm out there scoping around.
Yeah.
When you see one, when you know what you're looking at. I mean, I saw one today, and it's just, I mean, it replays in your mind. I'll be up late thinking about that fish tonight. It's crazy it's crazy what we get to cast out here. So we're swimming.
So that 9-pounder you caught today, it's like, man, that's a good fish, but it's not even 10.
Yeah, we got excited, and you know, it's a quality fish, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we were filming and stuff, and me and my buddy Brett Cannon, so we just had fun. And you know, absolutely. I think like it was 3 casts after that 9-pounder that I had that real big one follow me. So we got in a little zone right there, and things were happening.
Yeah.
But
you guys, you know, I think Jason, you were saying before we went live, you know, you two, Josh Jones, and 4 or 5 of you guys are friends that have a lot of these share lunker entries, and you've gained a lot of popularity. And you'll continue to do that as you catch big fish. Do you find like people kind of stalking you on the water and following you around, and you know, kind of like they do these pro fishermen? Does that become a problem for you guys?
Man, I'm not as much here, just because people don't really know who I am out here yet. I mean, some people do, but some don't. But at Fort, it definitely happens over there a lot.
Yeah,
a lot more than I'd like it to.
Well, I mean, you know, the more people that see the last fit, that 17-pounder, you're going to have to, you know, disguise your boat.
It definitely doesn't help that my boat's got a wrap on it with my name on it.
That's what I was saying. You're going to have to disguise your boat, to pull a Jacob Wheeler, take that wrap off or something. I don't know.
I was going to say, you got to get a new boat every year.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys, you know, man, put those boats through hell. I mean, just guiding on lakes like that every day.
Mine slid off the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't know we were talking about that. But no, I take care of I've had my boat for 4 years now. I've been guiding on it for this is like my 3rd year, and I take care of it the best I can. And you know, they do go through a beating out here, especially with this wind out here in West Texas that we get. And I mean, we're using them daylight to dark almost every day. So yeah, we trust our equipment. That's why we run what we run. So
there you go. So what are you running?
I run a Nitro, and Jason runs a Phoenix. Gotcha.
Okay. Yes, can't go wrong with either.
No, you really can't. My buddy, he actually just texted me when he seen the show come on. He bought a 21-foot Nitro last year, the year before, and dude, we use the crap out of that thing on Kentucky Lake, and He still got it, and he loves it, man. Loves it.
Yeah.
Dalton, you have well, actually, Jason had Tara. Jason, is that your wife?
That's my sister.
Your sister. Oh, well, she called you buddy. That makes sense. So your sister, Dalton's grandparents. I mean, you guys have a lot of people cheering you on here. I love it. Michael says, what sonar do you guys prefer? So what sonar are you guys running?
I personally prefer Garmin. I got the new 34 on mine. I've been using it for 3 years now, and
yeah,
I mean, obviously, I caught a 17-pounder, so I have no affiliation with anybody though, like as far as drafts. So I mean, it's just what I use. It's what I prefer. It's what I've grown with, and I've gotten really good with it. So I mean, they're all good. I mean, once you learn how to use your graph, if it's got the live, I mean, the both of our graphs, he's got Lowrance, and I mean, they're both good. I mean, I can see the pros and cons in both. So
if you don't have any affiliation, but if Garmin wants to throw one your way, you'll take it.
Money talks.
So Dalton, tell us about
Lowrance. Lowrance used to sponsor our college team there at Campbell's University. So I've been running Lowrance ever since I've been on the water, and that's what I'm comfortable with. And I think the technology on both sides is up to par to each other. So I don't really know if it matters what you're using right now. It's just how to use it.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? I actually talked to a guy from Garmin. It's been a while, but he said, man, well, of course he works for them, so he says their technology is the best. But he said what we have coming down the pipe in the future is going to change things even more. So I don't know. He didn't go into details. I don't know what he's talking about, but it's good. They, Lowrance, Garmin, they're all competing against each other, so they're just going to keep getting better and better.
Man, I don't know what else they could come out with other than like a real video, game.
They are. I think they're frozen again. That's a good. That's a good pose for them, though. I mean, that if you're going to freeze, that's a good. Their eyes are open. They're looking at the camera.
WO said spring is the best time to fish for big fish opportunities here. I agree, WO.
Kentucky,
my favorite time to fish in Kentucky by far is the springtime. Yeah. WO was asking fellas, when is the best opportunity to catch a big fish down there? What time of year?
Right now.
Yeah. Right now. The next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
we
big.
Actually, hold on. We caught 3 14-pounders in December between the two of us. So.
Yeah. I mean,
It really. I think if you're with the right guy and a guy that knows what he's doing and can just go around the lake and chase these fish from now until the end of the year, you can. I mean, just like me at Fort. I mean, I know where they're at right now when I go there because I'm leaving here. When I leave here, the day I leave here, I'm going there. I got a guide the next day, and I ain't been there since last year. But I guarantee you, I'm going to go right to where they are. And then from that point on, I'm going to follow them all the way until it's done, until I come back here. So you can catch big fish any time of the year. But the biggest that the fish is going to be that single fish is right now, right now.
Yep.
That's the biggest they're going to get. Now, when they move up shallow and they start moving around, roaming, getting ready to spawn, they're going to lose a little weight because they're moving so much and they're trying to find their thing, and that they're not eating as much. They're eating right now. They're getting eaten up because they know what's about to happen, and they're about to be going through the spawn and all that stuff. So,
I think what you said though, I mean, obviously everyone watching, we would all love to come to OH Ivie, catch a double-digit bass. We would love that.
Yeah.
It's just not reality, right? All of us are not going to get to do that. But what Jason just said, learning the lakes that you do fish, knowing where those fish are year round, puts you in the best position to catch the best fish in that lake, which may be a 6-pounder, maybe a 10-pounder. It's probably not going to be a 17-pounder, but you can still catch the best fish, the best class of fish in that lake, but if you put in the time. So I think that's one thing that gets overlooked with you guys is the amount of time that you're putting in to learn and master what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Jason's going to agree 100% on that, and he has a lot more experience than I do on the water. I'll just say that before I say something. But I mean, for the past 5 years when I've been living in college, I've been fishing. I've lived on Green River Lake. I live like 2 minutes away from it, so if I had 2 or 3 hours, I was getting out there. I mean, like you said, it could be any lake, but when you put in the time, you understand that ecosystem and why those fish are doing what they do on any given day at any given circumstance. That's when you're going to put yourself in the best position to catch a big one.
Yeah, I live about 90 minutes from Green River Lake. What's your best fish on that lake?
I've had 3 like 690 to 7.2s.
Yeah.
And we've caught some mega smallmouth out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest bag out of there was like 27 when I was 27 and a half in college. And I mean, my buddy Will Riggs and I last year we kind of knocked it out of the park on that lake. We had some crazy big fish. Let's just say that. We had a great year.
You ever catch a muskie while you're bass fishing out there?
I almost caught the state record muskie like on Black Friday. We had a Black Friday tournament out there, and I caught a 50-inch muskie, and I didn't get a weight on it. But we got it on film and all that kind of stuff, and we ended up winning that tournament actually with like 23 and a half pounds of bass. So.
And a muskie.
That's awesome.
That is. Hey, so you guys, Troy says that he has an employee that would love to go on a trip in March if you guys are available. So, and Troy,
thank you for making the best Alabama rig on the market.
Yeah.
There you go, Troy. Hey, I mean, look,
absolutely the best.
His profile picture is an Alabama rig, so it better be good if you're going to put that as your profile picture.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. So, and listen, we got about 15 minutes left, and we'll
yes, sir.
We'll let Dalton and Jason both tell everyone how they can get a hold of them. A lot of you probably already follow them on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. And we'll put that information in the comments so everybody can access that easily too. So, James wants to know how Dak Prescott will do next year. Didn't have a great finish to the season. Jason, you a Cowboys fan?
Can we talk about something else?
Reluctantly a Cowboys fan.
Oh man, I'm diehard, but yeah, it's tough being a Cowboys fan, man. It's tough.
And I got a guy at work. He's from Dallas, and he loves the Cowboys, man. And I give him heck every single day. So then the Bengals lost. I'm a Bengals fan. So now he's been giving me heck every day. So.
I think the best thing that could have happened to the Cowboys was them lose to the Buccaneers, fire McCarthy, and hire Sean Payton. That was the best scenario, and they won.
I agree, and get rid of Dak.
Yeah, well, now Sean Payton and Dak may be a good team. I don't know. But, I mean, McCarthy, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and take a drink of that.
Let's see. Brandon's still trying to grind out a limit on fork on Saturday, or he'll be trying to grind out a limit on fork on Saturday. Yeah. ShanesBaits.com for Troy. That's what he said. Go to ShanesBaits.com. All right, here's this is one I overlooked. And this is one thing I wanted to talk about is the Share Lunker program, which Josh is wearing a Toyota hat. We worked with Toyota to cover some bass fishing tournaments, the classics and things last year. What is Texas doing right that the rest of us need to get in on?
I got you.
All states,
okay, so
Kentucky's not going to grow a 17-pound bass regularly like Texas can, because the climate. But what can, in your mind, what's made it so successful?
Well, I mean, it's definitely the Share Lunker program. I mean, what they're doing in like my fish, for instance. They're going to take her, she's going to spawn, and then they're going to take her babies, and she's going to spawn with the male that's, a Share Lunker male. It's a big male. It's not just a little dink male.
Yeah.
And they're going to take those babies, and they're going to put those babies, I don't know how many they have, but they're going to spread those out all over the lakes across Texas. So, for instance, that fish I caught, the 17-pounder, I'm pretty sure that she was stocked here back in like 11 or 13, whenever they stocked the F1s that they stocked in here. And that's the fish that we're all catching. They're short and they're fat. I mean, but point is they're taking these big fish, they're breeding them with a big male, and then they're spreading those fingerlings across the state, and I mean that just it helps tremendously.
So it doesn't just go back to Ivie; they spread the wealth.
Yes, yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, Ivie. The reason Ivie's is as good as it is right now is because Ivie was based, like I told you earlier. Ivie is a river lake. It's dammed up off of 2 rivers, and it almost dried up. I mean, it was basically just a riverbed, and all the years it was low, it grew up a bunch of salt cedars, and when those flooded, it made the lake more fertile. It gave the fish moved up out of the rivers. They get up in the salt cedars. It makes them easier to catch. I mean, my fish, my 14 and my 17 both have come out of the salt cedars. Like a lot of guys are out here fishing 40 foot, and I'm catching 14 and 17 in less than 15 foot of water. So I mean, that's helped us out, this lake out a lot too. Just the fertilization of it, and that's what Fort did back in the day too. Lake Fort, was very fertile when it first opened. The grass and all the things that were in the lake that made it fertile, and then that helps out the fish. These fish are very fat. They're full of protein. I mean, their mouths are fat. Their stomachs are fat. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to see some of these fish. Like he had me weigh one the other day. He drove up and said, "Hey, can I use your scale?" And this sucker wasn't like 20 something inches long, but it was big around as it was long.
Yeah.
And it weighed like almost 9 pounds. It was insane. There's no way that little fish is going to weigh as much, but it did. It's just so fat out here.
Yeah. So do you think the way they do the program in the future, there are going to be other lakes that turn on like this, you think? And just is it going to come in waves as they do that?
There's other lakes that are got fish in them like this lake.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just in the only. I mean, there's some sleeper lakes out there that y'all will be hearing about in the next few years. If not,
so I mean, you hear Ivie, you hear Fork, Sam Rayburn comes to mind. I mean, Texas has so many lakes, and so that's
Toledo's
when Toledo Bend, yeah, I've seen that. And I didn't realize that they spread that out across the state. So obviously, there's going to be more that come up. That's a great program. Do you know, does Toyota? I mean, I'm sure they're giving quite a bit of money to that to fund the stockings and the mating and stuff.
Yeah, in the Bassmaster, it used to be called what was it? One of the tournaments that came here. It was like the Bassmaster does it now, but it's the Toyota. When they come here, it's a Toyota event, and a lot of the money that's raised during those events, they donate that to the Toyota deal or whatever, and that goes to the Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Yeah, and Toyota's getting a lot of. I mean, not that they maybe need it, but they get a lot of publicity from that. I mean, see the Sherlooker. It's what do you guys call them now? Sherries. That's when you catch one, you call them Sherries.
I think you're the one that made it start.
I made that up. I don't know how.
You made that up? Oh man, there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard Jason say it first, and I've kind of started saying. I think everybody.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of people say it.
So I'll be honest. I saw it in a Josh Jones comment, so I just assumed. So he may be trying to take credit for that. Yeah, you may have to have a conversation.
Yeah, we'll arm wrestle over it. I'll win.
Here's what I know about Josh. Now I've been following Josh for a while. Here's what I know about him: he catches big fish, and he hates Oklahoma lakes or Oklahoma Fish and Wildlife or what have you. They're frozen again. Someone said, Bullets for Bucks said, you guys are always live. Tuesdays, Bullets for Bucks, we have a hunting show that's live. Thursdays, we have a fishing show. And guys, last week we had Keith Poche, who finished 11th for Group B at down at, are they at Okeechobee?
They are.
Yeah. Kissimmee. They're Kissimmee.
Yeah, Kissimmee, you're right.
Yeah. He finished 11th today. He was on the show last week. So this is a new show. This is just our 3rd week doing it. So if you like bass fishing, check us out every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's different wherever you live, but I live in Eastern time, not tonight. But
yeah, and hey guys, we're trying to grow, this show and our Tuesday night show. We're bringing on professional fishermen. We're bringing on heavy hitters like Dalton and Jason. We're trying to bring on as many guests as we can every week. So if you see guests that you want, let us know. We'd love to get them on. If you know somebody personally, you want them to come on the show, we'd love to bring them on. and share shows, man. When it pops up, the notification, share that, let people know, and go give us a follow over on Outdoors Media, because without you all, we absolutely cannot do it. We can't do it without you guys.
There are probably some heavy hitters watching too. So
I guarantee it.
And we don't just want to have, Keith Poche was a great guest, talked about bass fishing, talked about it at the highest level. But we're trying to vary it. We don't want just the pros. We don't want just the local guys. We want to have a mix. WO said, what was the water temp? They said it was 49 to 50 right now, WO. Jason said we're trying to get back in. You know what? I got to ask him about that profile picture. Do you see who's in that profile picture with him?
I can't tell who it is.
That's the greatest wide receiver of all time, Randy Moss.
It sure
maybe second greatest, but big Randy Moss fan. So I need his cell phone number. We can have him on the show.
Randy Moss does like to fish.
Yeah, he does.
He does like to fish.
Ruben said Randy Miss. I don't know if that was a typo or if he's making fun of him, but Jason says, what's the next big sleeper lake you think will pop up? PK, Amistad, Caddo. I don't know that one. Straight cash, homie. That's right. That's one of the funniest clips. Randy Moss got fined. They said, hey, you going to pay for that fine? He said, straight cash, homie. Gosh, that's great. I love it, man. Love that guy.
I love the segment they do every week with You Got Moss. I love that.
So that's kind of like Dalton catching 3 14-pounders and Jason catching a 17-pounder over him. Dalton got mossed. He got conned on that. Hey, they're back right here.
We're trying, boys. We're on Jason's phone now.
All right. Hey, that's all right. Jason, Randy Moss. Did you guide Randy Moss?
Yes, sir.
Dude, that is awesome.
It had to be a blast.
Yeah, it was, man. It was really cool. Y'all know who Cole Wetzel is?
Cole Wetzel, yeah.
I was fishing with him yesterday and this morning and a little bit this morning. We didn't get up and fish this morning. We might have had a little bit too much last night to.
I bet Randy Moss has put up some huge numbers against the Cowboys.
He don't like the Cowboys at all. I can tell you that.
No, I've told Josh and the guys that work with us, I'm like, man, I would love to have Randy Moss on a show or just you do something because he's just so entertaining.
I can make that happen.
Okay,
he would love to do that. Yeah,
dude, that would be incredible.
He's out in the east. He lives in North Carolina and he lives on a lake over there somewhere. I don't remember what lake it is. Yeah,
we'll have to get together and make that happen. Maybe you and him can do it together.
He'll be here in 2 weeks. He'll be fishing with me in 2 weeks right here.
All right.
Dude, I'd love to do it.
Put in a plug. Let's see. I thought we had. Oh, Jason had a question. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to keep this under wraps. I don't know. The next big sleeper lake, PK, Amistad. Caddo. I don't know how you say that.
Caddo. No, it's. Caddo. I mean, I really don't want to talk about that out loud because.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, I'll talk to you about that tomorrow.
There you go. You get the inside scoop, Jason.
Yeah. Book a trip with me and I'll talk to you about it.
There you go. So Lake Norman.
Yeah, I've been in Norman before.
Yeah. In Texas?
No, Lake Norman.
Oh, he lives on. I bet Randy Moss lives on Lake Norman.
That's exactly what.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. Another thing I was going to ask: your shirt. It looks like it says 8 blades is cheating. Can you explain that to us? Yeah, I read it right. I have good eyes, man.
8 blades is not cheating. Just so everybody knows. Okay, it's not. You go buy every 8-blade A-rig. It's made on the planet right now from Shane's Baits. Buy them all. Buy every single one of them. But the reason that we made this shirt was because I was fishing the Toyota Series, Major League Fishing, and I had an 8-blade A-rig on my deck, and I had a 4-blade because I left here. I went down there to Rayburn to fish that tournament, and I had 19.5 on day 1. I was in 4th place. Well, I posted a video of the fish with the A-rig. And it had 8 blades on it. Well, it didn't dawn on me, the blade thing, because it's cheesy. I mean, 3 extra blades isn't going to make a difference if a fish bites it or not. Yeah. But anyway, somebody turned me in, and I got DQ'd on day 1. So everybody started coming up, saying 8 blades is cheating. So somebody said, let's make a hoodie that says that. So we did, and then
I love it.
They just started selling. So
do you know who reported you?
You don't
I
have
don't.
to say it.
But if
Okay.
you know out there, would you please let me know so I
Yeah.
can get them off my social media? And not because just because the fact, like, you know, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
following me and you're doing that kind of stuff, you could have at least just gave me a heads up, you know, so I
Yeah.
could have done it myself. You know,
Yeah.
not caught me off guard. But no, I don't know who it was.
And I mean, it's an honest mistake, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah,
happens.
definitely was.
Yeah.
I went out the next day and still got to fish and caught 14 pounds with the 4-blade A rig and caught probably 25 fish that day with.
Yeah.
So I mean, the blades didn't make a difference, but
If you buy a Dominator from shanesbaits.com right now, all right, don't wait. Leave the live up. Go right now. Open up a new tab. You get 10% discount if you type JC in the code. So go to Shane's Baits, buy a Dominator, type in JC, get 10% off, and you might just catch a 17-pounder.
or a 14.
Or 14. I'm guessing, you know, Josh and I are brothers, so we're competing. You know, he's always second. I'm guessing you guys, you know, Dalton catches 14-pounders. He's riding high. You come in with a 17, deflate Dalton's confidence. You know, are you guys competing?
Not at the least bit, man.
We were jumping up and down and high fiving each other, man.
He's been there for I think all of my 14s because you were on the lake today and like I didn't even know him and he told me, you know, I was by Jason when he caught his 17. I had just left like 100 yards away. I was like 100 yards away and I went around the corner and he called me. He's like, get back here, you know, tell me what happened. I mean, I gave him nucks on the boat.
He almost jumped in my boat and tried to
almost gave him a hug.
I'm like, bro, man.
But man,
That's too much.
But no, man, when you see somebody catch a fish of a lifetime like that, I don't care who it is. I'm gonna shake your hand and say congrats. I think it's amazing. I love chasing these fish and watching.
I love this guy right here, man.
Boy, I love, you know, we're all out here for the same reason, man. We're out here to catch big bass and have fun.
And that being said, is like people need to be more like this right here.
Absolutely.
Like we all need to be there for each other and be happy for each other. And it's taking a big turn. Like people get so mad and so jealous and hate. I've been getting on a lot of hate with the 8 blades and then my fish catch, and it's just that stuff's got to stop. I mean, we all got.
I agree.
You know, we all need to be friends, be happy for each other.
I love you said that, man, because we've talked about it for the past 3 years on our show with hunting specifically. You know, you've got new guys that are trying to come into fishing and hunting and stuff, and you've got dudes that are just hateful.
You got old grumpy dudes who just want to bash them, man.
Yeah, they don't.
You know?
It's just
I hate it.
I hate it, man. It drives me nuts.
Here's the thing, man, is we should all be excited about what's going on in our sport right now.
Yeah.
Young, old. Our sport will not be what it is without young people coming in it and technology developing and things being different. I mean, like it's not going to stay the same. So I just think we should all be positive about it. That's all. You know, that's my thing is positive mental attitude and just don't look at the negative stuff.
Hey,
you know, we talked last. Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say one thing. If Josh Jones, if you're watching, buddy, I just want you to know that I caught a bigger fish than you.
Yes, Josh.
We're friends. We're friends. We're friends. We're just having fun with it.
He caught a bigger fish, and Josh, if you want to share this on your page with your 6-figure followers, we would appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we're at 62,000 though. We're getting there. We're gonna be at 100,000.
Yeah, y'all got twice as many as me.
Here's the thing. When we're fishing, Josh and I hope Josh catches the biggest fish in the lake. And I love it. I'm going to celebrate.
It's a liar.
I just want mine to be 1 ounce greater.
Yeah.
And it's all love. Listen,
it's all
love.
It's all talk, though. Because here's the thing. John always catches more fish. He just don't know how to catch the big ones. Is the problem. So I always catch the big ones. He catches the little dinks. And we're both happy about it.
I wouldn't say dinks, but sometimes you catch a bigger.
Well, I mean, if you call 1.5 pounds pretty big, then whatever.
No, it's all love, but a little friendly competition is good.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't help it, man. We've grown up just competing against each other. Wiffle ball in the backyard. Dude, my first memory is him hitting a wiffle ball and busting my nose. Like
all over his face.
Yeah,
all over his face.
Me and my sister used to do that. My sister is on here. We used to do that.
Yeah.
She shot me in the eye with a BB gun.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that's
man.
That's a little hardcore, but you know.
Yeah.
Daniel Chitwood. Now, Daniel is great outdoorsman. He's down there like trapping iguanas in Florida. Like he does crazy stuff. Are you worried?
That's my best friend. I grew up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel
yeah. He's
Stewart
a great
is
dude.
one of my best friends ever.
Yeah, there you go. He said, "Are you worried that OH is just going to get flooded with too many anglers?"
Yeah,
man. It like I said earlier, you can come out here all you want, but it's hard to catch them. I mean, I've had the crazy thing is there's probably a few people in here that are watching this show right now, but they left Sunday, and I come out Monday and caught a 17-pounder. And they didn't catch a fish all weekend.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to speak myself up or anything. I'm just saying the point is it's not easy to catch these fish out here. You got to be out here every day and on them every day. So that's why it's important. If you're going to come out here, hire a guide.
And that's a good thing, though, man. I like it because, I mean, I'm glad you caught the 17-pounder just because you've put all the work in. You know, like either one of you all catching them like that, you all put all the work in all the time. So why not you guys? You know what I mean? You should be catching them.
I appreciate that.
And let's just be honest, it's good for business.
Oh, 100%.
It's great for business, and I mean, like, it might not be like this for forever. I mean, here in the next couple of years, it's things are changing already out here right now. But it's good for business. It's cool what's going on out here right now, like the community that's developing, the fishing community and the people around it. So I think it's always obviously going to be here, but it's not as going to be as easy to go catch one. But man, I mean, like we just talked about earlier, there's other lakes out here that's got as big a fish or bigger in it too.
And that happens everywhere. Every time a lake blows up, it has its run, and then some other lake comes in and takes over. Jason bought 2 from Shane's Baits. Jason, you are the man. Thank you for doing that. Greg says, how would you book a trip with them? So you guys go ahead, take that. How do people book a trip with you guys?
Just go follow our social media and just shoot us, either one of us, a message. And if you want to fish with him, if you want to fish with me, whichever. If I'm not booked, then I'll send you out with him or whatever. Social media is how I do all my stuff.
Yeah, so. You look me up on D Smith Fishing on Instagram, and then just search Dalton Smith on Facebook, and we'll get you booked up. So I'd love to have you out.
Yeah, and I will. And guys, what we'll do is I will put both of their pages in the comments here when we get off in a minute, and I will pin those. That way they're at the top, so that makes it easy for everybody. So, all right. Last chance. If you guys have questions, Danny Hinkle says, and I think we may have talked about this, after catching tons of DD fish, what do you consider a big fish now? For Jason, it's 18, I guess, 17 plus.
Oh, man. I mean, no, a 10-pounder is a 10-pounder. We were talking, or I think it was him I was talking about, man, I don't care. I mean, a fish is a fish, but, I mean, 12 pounders is, what I would consider a big fish. I mean, there's a lot of times at Fork, I'll catch an 8 or 9 pounder just with a client, just trying to figure them out real quick, and I don't even take a picture with it. Like, I just throw it back. And they're like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm like, man, it's just a junk fish. Like, I'm trying to, whatever. but a 12 pounder is a big fish. And, up until I came out here, I'd only had 3. I had 3, and then 12s, and then I caught the 14 and 17 here. So a 12 pounder is a big fish. I think it's a hard fish to catch.
DD, like when I hear, like if you catch DD, I think a DD, double digit.
But DD here though is different than a DD in most lakes because I mean I caught a 1238. It's on my social media, but that thing was only 24 inches long. 1238 is only 24.
Almost is literally as round as it is long.
Exactly, and it was 24 inches in girth. But a 24-inch fish for say at Lake Fork is like 10 pounds, 9 pounds, 8 pounds sometimes. And 12 and a half pound, 24-inch fish. That's just unbelievable. That's why these fish are so much that
maybe a better question is not what do you guys think is a big fish? What does the share lunker program say is a big fish? Like what qualifies for that?
An 8-pound fish is a share lunker. Like you can submit that into share lunker. There's different classes. I just know that the 13 plus is considered a legacy lunker.
Okay.
And that's when it's 13 plus, that's when we can submit these fish in them and watch, and go through the breeding process with them. So
do they keep that data online where you can kind of see like where it was stocked, how, all that. So that's
Yep.
kind of like a banded duck or something in hunting, a banded turkey,
Yeah.
You see, yeah, that's cool. Let's see. I don't know. Bois d'Arc opening this year. I guess that's a lake or a French play or something. I don't know.
No, it's a lake up there. It's called Bois d'Arc. Man, I'm actually really excited about that lake. Gary Klein, the professional bass fisherman, he was a part of this lake, building this lake. It's they're saying it's going to be the next Lake Fork. So basically what they did was half the lake's gonna be recreation. The top half of it's got trees, grass, all that, the ponds. They stocked the ponds like 7-8 years ago with the share lunker fry.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, when it opens, it's opening this April, I believe.
So it's gonna hit the ground running.
Yeah. So it's been stocked like 7 or 8 years ago with share lunker fry, and it's got ponds all around it, but.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be another good lake for people to go catch some big ones at.
Absolutely. I think this is another good question from Jeremy. How long will you spend on a big one before you move on?
I know Jeremy from back home. Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I keep it simple. If I make a couple casts at a fish with some baits that I think that they're gonna react to on forward facing sonar, I mean, unless it's like a 13 plus pounder, I just don't give them a whole lot of time because they're not in the mood to bite a whole lot. Like I'm trying to find a hot fish. I'm constantly trying to cast at fish that hasn't seen a bait yet and that are going to react right. Because
here it's one fish. I mean one cast. If you make one cast, it's pretty much done.
I think if you can I'd rather put it in front of 15 fish that are share lunker sized than like try to catch one or two. But then, I haven't personally followed one around for a whole lot.
Yeah,
to follow up, when you do see a fish, you cast out there, you're watching it on sonar, you're reeling over its head, like you said. When you see it start to follow, do you mix up your cadence? Are you just burning it? Are you, what are you doing?
I'll let him talk too, but I personally it varies from different lakes. So yesterday, Co and I were at a lake. It was a private lake, 70-acre lake. Those fish had never seen an Alabama rig in their life. They never been live scoped in their life. So, I mean, some of them you could pop it, drop it in their face, and they would just come up and hit it. But out here, you gotta keep it a certain foot above their head. Like, I mean, depending on water clarity, you got to keep it up over their head a good distance. And I mean, I feel like you have to just do it at the same, like a one steady retrieve. Like if you start changing it up and stopping it, the fish burns off. I mean, that's my experience with them. My fish yesterday just came right over her head and she hit, or not yesterday, but the 17 I caught, it was just a steady retrieve right over her head. She come up and hit it. And it's, if the fish, like he was saying, a hot fish, if a fish wants a bait, the fish is going to eat the bait. It don't matter. I don't think it really even matters, but for the most part, the ones I catch, it's just a steady retrieve. Don't change it. Don't stop it. Don't speed it up. Just keep it steady and at a steady retrieve.
Jason Smith says that Jason Conn will yell at you if you change your cadence in the boat, on his boat.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, learn how to get the net out.
Oh, man.
Y'all go watch that video. You'll laugh. It's on my page. It's got probably the most views over the last month.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, his retrieve, let him tell about his retrieve.
All right, let's hear it, Dalton.
I think I kind of agree with Jason on like every lake's different because back home, like where I'm from, we do a lot of weird stuff with our retrieves. I just like to look at every fish. I keep it a certain, like on forward face sonar, I keep it a certain distance away from them when depending on the water clarity, and I watch that fish the whole time. Sometimes I feel like every cast I do something different, but whatever you do not kill the bait. That's do not stop reeling it.
Yeah, do not stop it.
So
usually when you stop it, the fish burns off and you're done.
Yeah. Loses interest. Yeah.
If you're rolling that bait and the fish is burning up there, 9 times out of 10, if he's going to hit it, he's going to hit it. If he's not, he's going to turn off. Like once he gets up there and realizes it's fake, he's done. He might still follow it, but most of the time they're burning up and smoking it. That's when one, it's just flies up. Yeah, boom, he hits it. If not, they're probably not going to hit it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Your buddy Daniel's wondering if you're going to do a replica of your big fish.
Yeah, so the 2 14s I caught in one day, Daniel, I took measurements with fishing line and all that good stuff. But my other one, Share Lunker, gives us a free replica at the awards
cool.
tournament. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is great.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a 20-pounder swimming around out here, and I've seen it on camera. I've seen it because the reason I say that is the fish, that 17-pounder, I didn't think that was a 17-pounder. So the one I've got one on a tree, and people have commented. I think somebody said something about it earlier, or maybe not on this deal, but maybe on my page. But I've got another one that's bigger than the one I caught, and it's probably close to 20. And it's not the one that we saw; it's the other one. Remember the one I was telling you about? So
how often do you revisit that?
When the wind's right, every day. But like today, you can't get out there when it's windy, and which it's been windy a bunch.
Yeah.
You can't. This spot, I mean, he knows where it's at, but you can't. If it's windy out of the southwest, or even northwest, you can't get in it. And that's what the most wind we've been having.
My last Share Lunker, my 1476. I have been my client hooked the fish once, or didn't hook it, but had it bite, and I watched it swimming away with the A-rig in its mouth, and I've cast at that fish a bunch, but I just left her alone for a while, and we had them right conditions, and we just kind of planned on, like those 2 days, we're going to go hit every Share Lunker that we can.
Yeah.
Love you, Jeff. You're the man.
I'm sure that was an amazing experience. So, well, fellas, I tell you what, it's 10:15, which is, I think that's fair because we had some trouble there getting on,
sir.
But it worked out. And man, first of all, just congratulations on your all success, and I hope that all those fish you're catching just fill your calendar up, as you want. You're going to need a break at some point,
right?
But I hope you guys stay booked. And man, we appreciate you coming on. Hey, when you catch that 20-pounder though, we want to have you back.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's with Randy Moss or somebody. That would be a really good story.
I can't imagine how that guy would react.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about some stuff later.
Yeah. So, but listen, everybody that watched, we appreciate you. So sorry about all the technical difficulties, but it worked out. It's been a great show. We've had two great guests, great questions. I'm finally glad John got to someone that can. Oh, I'm finally glad to see someone that can out-talk John. So Scott makes fun of me for talking too much. But, I had to bring two of them on just to keep up with me. So, but listen, we appreciate you guys. This is a new show we're doing. We have a hunting show on Tuesdays. We've been doing for almost 2 years. This show is just our third episode. Amazing guests already. So just holler at us. I was reading the email to reach out right there. But anyway, check us out every Thursday. We'll be here. I have no idea who's going to be on next Thursday, but we'll have somebody.
We'll have some. Oh, we always have somebody.
Yeah, maybe one of the guys finishing up a tournament down in Florida this week. But we appreciate
maybe we'll
you guys.
catch a 20-pounder.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Might be repeat guests. And my internet will be much better when I'm home next Thursday. So thank you guys, Jason, Dalton. Thank you guys, Josh. Appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having us on.